Good morning. Welcome back to the Van Build series. As I said, I've only got 2, maybe 3 days left to do as much as I can. So I'm hoping to get the kitchen and the bed done. Cabinetry is not as important, but the kitchen and bed has to be done. I did go up to Kmart and Bunnings this morning, the hardware store, to pick up some supplies. So I've gotten storage containers, another curtain, some shelving. I was also able to find a smaller grease trap. So maybe they were just out of stock or something when I went previously, but this looks like it may be able to fit in that space. So I'm going to give it a try. Hopefully it will work. It's not a big deal if it doesn't. The other connections that I have should act the same. I also did get some water pipes for the mixer taps, and also a converter for the gas bottle. So the gas bottle takes a small hole like that, but the hot water and the stove use a big one like this. So I'm just going to test this one out first, not first, but I'm going to test this out, and if it does work, then I'll get the double adapter, so I don't have to keep changing the switching between either hot water or the stove. I can have both of them at the same time. Cool, I might get started on an easy job like the curtain. I can just place that on, and then we will do the kitchen. I'm adding this support strap on the inside of this piece of wood, so that the fridge doesn't move too much. This spacing is also just right for the door to open fully, whereas before it was a little bit, it didn't go to 90 degrees, it went to about 85, no, about 75. Yeah, so I'm just gonna drill 2 holes and screw it in. I think we're ready to attach the moving kitchen to the sliding rails. I did check on this to make sure it was glued on properly, and that glue has held it on really strong. I didn't apply too much of it actually, so I'm happy it's quite solid. Yeah, so let's attach the kitchen to the slide. So when I'm attaching the legs, I'm going to do the back side first. This side has to be slightly raised, so I will secure the back side on, raise it, and then get pilot holes, so I know how high it has to be. It has to be raised because otherwise it leaves a gap. When it's raised, it doesn't leave a gap at all. I've finished securing on the rails on both sides, but I wasn't able to get to the very last screws. The other problem I'm seeing is it's excessively tight. So when I push it in, it's very hard to push in, but it is very secure. It just means I'm going to have to pull a bit harder in and out. but it does work. I mentioned yesterday that I might use a piece of this benchtop wood to make the doors, and then I could use it as extra space. But I had a different thought last night, but I needed to check how far this kitchen comes out before I could do anything about it. And that is not to put it on the whole front of the panel, and just to put it on the fridge part. That way it can lift up like this, and I'll have an L-shaped kitchen, which I don't mind. I actually like that. Yeah, and I do have the extra bench space, and I can still access any cupboard stuff separately. So I think I'll do that. I'm gonna connect up the stovetop. There's quite a few little bits here and there, so I'll just read through the instructions and start assembling. So it says here, in an LPG installation, gas regulator is made at the gas cylinder and no further regulator is required. So I don't need to put this piece in because it's done at the gas tank. I can see why they said not to install that with a natural gas thing, because it's already got one on this side. So I have hooked this up to the gas stove. I'm not going to use this specific pipe because this is the one that came with the hot water. I'll have to go and buy one because this was made for houses with a gas line in it. But I'm going to test it out and make sure that it's all working. So fingers crossed. So another thing, I have put the gas bottle as far away as I can from the stove, so I can shut it off from here if something goes wrong. Okay, that works. So does that one. Just one more thing. When I do connect this all up, the hot water, it didn't actually say it on this stovetop instructions, but on the hot water instructions, it said to use some soapy water, like dish soap and water, around all the valves and connectors. That way when you turn the gas line on, you can see any bubbles of any gas that's leaking. So I will be doing that when I connect it all up, when I go buy a hose for it, just to make sure that it's sealed correctly. I've just done the cable run for the fridge. Yesterday I had it plugged into this cigarette slot, but I have it hooked up to this switch here, which is just going to a cigarette slot that's in there. I'm going to try and fit this grease trap on the sink. Hopefully it fits in with all the other connections. I think it will because it's got the adapters and stuff for it, so it should be fine, but we'll just wait and see. It still takes up quite a lot of space. I was hoping to put the gas tank there. Just gonna do another drainage test. Let's hope that works. it is working. Only problem is when I pushed it through, the pipe has holes in it now. Yeah, okay. I might have to move the grey water tank on this side. I've moved the grey water tank to this side, so it's coming there and then through the back. I need to cut it to size. I don't want anything to be lower than any part of the underside of the car. So the lowest thing on the underside is the spare tyre. So I want the grey water tank to be above that. So I will need to cut it down, but I need to get smaller clamps as well, because it's too far below. So I'm just going to test it out and make sure that the water is flowing through. I filled the sink up. It's just empty. There you go. I've added a piece of PVC piping and I put a clamp in there. So this clamp is stopping any movement on the join here, where the flexible bit meets the solid bit. So having it clamped down here will stop it from moving here. I'm just cutting the water filtration pipe to length. I'm going to put a baseboard on the kitchen, and I'll use one of the pre-painted white plywood that we had from a couple of days ago. I'm going to add a panel here as well to hide it from the outside. I did cut it, but the paint was on the wrong side, so I have painted it and I think it may be dry by now, so I'm going to mount it on. I'm going to head back up to the hardware store before it closes. I need to get some more wood for the front doors. Yeah, hopefully it won't be too long. I'm back from the hardware store. I got some pre-painted wood and some various other connections for the gas tank and the plumbing. I might actually just put the lights in now, so that I can work when it becomes dark. I think the sun will set pretty soon. Well, it works, but it's the wrong colour. I wanted the white ones, not the ambient ones like the bedroom. That's okay, nothing I can do about it now. It just means I can't complete the one outside, otherwise it'll be two different colours. I'm going to connect up the mixer tap to the plumbing, just to make sure it all flows properly. I don't have the hot water connected just yet, but I'll connect that up a bit later. Looks like I won't be able to connect the hot water up tonight. I need one more of these adapters, and the hardware store will be closed by the time I get back there. I'll connect up as much as I can, but we'll have to leave it to tomorrow to test. Got another owie. The hot water system fell on my hands. Yeah, so it looks like the hot water system won't actually fit here because the pipes they take up too much space. I'm gonna have to think of something else. For now, I have just hooked up the cold water, and we'll just test to make sure it's working. I'm going to get started on the doors for this cabinetry. So as I mentioned before, I got some pre-painted wood. So all I need to do is cut it down to size and then put it together. I'm hoping it won't take any longer than an hour. So let's aim to get that done tonight. I put the doors on, but there's some issues with it. Like it doesn't close properly. I will fix that tomorrow. It's quite late at the moment, so I think I will pack up and start again tomorrow. Yeah, we still didn't get the kitchen done, unfortunately. Yeah, let's finish off the kitchen. I just need to get the extra adapter for the hot water. Yeah, and then we can build the bed. Finally. Yeah. Alright, thanks again for joining. I'll see you tomorrow.